Welcome to the POMcast with Stephen Willis. Now we're going to do things a little different. We are going to provide an honest look at Ole Miss athletics for the fan, by the fan, and of the fan. That is what we do. Hell be to me. I'm just kidding. Tune in for some Ole Miss sports news. We're going to give it to you straight. Yeah, right now. The POMcast starts now. It happens now. Holy cow. Listen to me. It's starting. Well, it's going to start right about now. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to the POMcast. I need to turn off the verbs there. It's getting my ears pretty bad. So now, welcome to the POMcast. I am Stephen Willis. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, March 8th, 2021. In the show today, we're going to talk a little bit about the baseball series where we got a sweep over Belmont. We're going to talk a little bit about basketball, where they are facing the most win of all must-wins Thursday night. We're going to talk about Nick Crass out of Biloxi, Mississippi, a recruit that is signed on with the basketball team. He's class of 2022. We got some highlights coming up later on. And, of course, we have an exciting announcement. I think we'll start with the exciting announcement. Positively Ole Miss and Willis Digital Media has formed a partnership, an alliance with the Rebel Walk. You can see it on the screen right there. We're going to do a lot of cool things with this. We're going to serve as their video avenue. They're going to do things like instant reaction of sporting events, pregame, postgame, interviews, practice reports, recruiting information, just all sorts of video content at your fingertips on these services. Remember, we said we want to be where you are already. We don't want you to have to go anywhere new. So wherever you are, you can catch the POMcast. We're going to get all our information of our channel lineups on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook over at the Rebel Walk, so you can subscribe there and know where to go. We're also going to do a video of how to watch and make sure that shows up on all of our platforms. And we're just going to have fun. The whole purpose of this thing is to make following Ole Miss fun again. We're not going to get in the anxiety game or the anxious game that people do all the time. We're going to have fun doing this and make it something that is enjoyable. I've said all through this POMcast, going back a couple of months, you can always tell that the decline of attendance is directly attributable to the anxious and anxiety of the subscriber model. So free content's where it's at. You can enjoy Ole Miss football. Remember, those pay sites that claim to be so big and so powerful, they have about 6,000 subscribers at their max. There's over 64 in Vaught Hemingway on a Saturday. So it's really a small portion of the fan base. We'll let you in on that. Of course, you know all the time I used to work for Rivals. I used to work for the football team. We've got a very well-versed point of view here. But this free content and the way we are going to do things is the way. Now, with the Rebel Walk, you can expect pre- and post-game shows. Instant reactions for baseball for series has already started. You can request recruiting and practice reports. Just a little quick hitter is like, this is what went on at practice. We're not going to obviously give anything away. Really, that is nothing. But if something happens that needs to be reported, we'll be there. And we will do interviews from the Rebel Walk. I envision, it may not happen this way, but kind of a Roy Firestone type deal. From back in the day. I mean, if you can remember Jerry Maguire, I think yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Jerry Maguire, or 26th anniversary or something like that. His interview segment with Roy Firestone. I'm envisioning something like Roy Firestone. Now we have our own recruiting people here. We have our recruiting czar, Darby McCranie. He's not going anywhere. But we are going to also have people from the Rebel Walk talking recruiting. So you're going to be able to get multiple perspectives on recruiting. This is a pretty big deal. This is something that others will want you to pay for, but you do not need to pay for it because it's right here. We have all the info. So pre and post game reports. Interviews and practice and recruiting and all that, and we're just going to use this as the video hub. Of course, you can watch it at the Stephen Willis, eventually at the Rebel Walk. I'm going to try and figure out how to hook that up as well. You can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast. Of course, you can catch us on Twitch at Positively Ole Miss, all one word. Please go there and follow. It's going to be a very easy thing, and you can watch it on your smart TVs, your Amazon Fire. It's available through the Twitch app. The other one is Positively Ole Miss on YouTube. You can watch that on your smart TVs through the YouTube app. So if you subscribe here and you log in there with the same information, it'll all be transferable. You can also catch us on Willis Digital Media at both YouTube and Twitch. As you can see, we have a widely viewed product across the internet, but it's like I said, we are where you are already. That has always been our goal, and with this Rebel Walk partnership, hopefully we can expand on that. Now, I will say, and I told Evie at the Rebel Walk whenever we did this, if you give free content, if you have a free podcast and are looking for an avenue to get it to a wider audience, hook up with me. We'll figure out how to do it. We'll do your podcasts. I think we're planning on trying either this week or next week the flagship football podcast, doing that on this platform as well. So this is going to be a place for a wide variety of content. We have to be very careful what we're naming it, and we don't want to confuse the audience. But we intend on using this quite a bit. And whenever this gets up and going, we hope to be a well-oiled machine by football season. Because that's the money time. And when I say money time, I mean that is the point where you need to be at it. It's when the most eyeballs are on your product. I mean, we like baseball, we like basketball, but it's nothing compared to Ole Miss football. I understand that. So we want to be at the highest level possible, and we're going to do that through recruiting. We're going to figure out how to do it through pre- and post-game show. I'm thinking about putting it together and doing a Friday night Mississippi high school football show. It depends on anybody. If anybody wants to sign up in the 3 regions of Mississippi, that's South, North, and Central, you can go live through the Rendezvous app that comes on our show. Maybe if you're going to a high school game, we can do something that way, and we can go live on site. So it's going to be pretty cool. So we have a lot of stuff that we're trying to do. We're trying to break the product. As you see, we had little glitches along the way. But as this gets more serious, you'll be able to follow us with basically one click. Or we're available on smart TVs. And you can watch the podcast then, and it's actually worth watching. I mean, it's fairly high level. So this is the POMcast right here. This is Positively Ole Miss, the YouTube page, Twitch page, all that. Subscribe to that. Do me a favor. If you do that and hit the bell and get notifications, you will always know when we're live. Because that is the whole point of this, is to be able to go live at a moment's notice. If we need to, we can go live, and it doesn't really matter where we are. If a big recruiting news goes or happens in the ether, we're able to cover it for you. And remember, with the Rebel Walk, I think they are probably one of the larger editorial staffs out there covering Ole Miss sports. I mean, it's a decent number of people, like 8 or 9, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong on my numbers. But that means those people can focus into what they're covering. They can really understand their particular avenue, and they can give it to you right here. We're providing an avenue to turn stuff around quickly. Obviously, we don't want to step on the written words content. That's not what we're trying to do. But if there's stuff that needs to happen, we now have the avenue to do this. And I am extremely thrilled about the partnership with the Rebel Walk, and we'll continue to do things at a fairly high level here. And we're going to build new shows. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. I've already sent the wireframe out for the graphics out to Jake Evans so he can start working on his show and kind of figure out what he's doing, play around with it. But that is currently available. It's really cool. I'm so excited. I really am. Also, this weekend, Ole Miss sweeps Belmont. You can catch our instant reaction with Jake from the Rebel Walk. We put that up last night. It's at all the usual suspects at the Stephen Willis, Facebook.com/POMcast, Positively Ole Miss, and Positively Ole Miss Twitch, all one word, Positively Ole Miss. Notifications, sign up for notifications on Twitch and YouTube, and you'll always know when we go live. Now, we are going to take a short break because that's kind of what we do. And when we come back, we will talk a little bit about basketball and Nick Crass and kind of get you jump started for this week that's coming up. Anyway, stick around.
Only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese.
We spend 6 hours a day in front of a screen.
As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at active4life.ca.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis from Positively Ole Miss. We're almost done with this break. We'll be back with good information quite soon.
The military has been in every generation of my family, and so has VA. It wasn't easy for my dad after Vietnam, but VA helped him and my mom get the home they'd always wanted. My grandpa's been coming to VA since World War II. They even helped him lay to rest one of his battle buddies from Normandy. And me, I followed in their footsteps and served with pride. And now that I'm out of the military, the GI Bill's helping me with school. Every generation of my family has served, and VA has served us all.
All right, welcome back to the POMcast. Stephen Willis here, coming at you right here at Positively Ole Miss. Thank you for joining us today. Nick Crass, out of Biloxi, Mississippi, class of 2022, has committed to the Ole Miss basketball team. Now, normally, that is like, well, what's going on? Well, Nick Crass is kind of a basic player. He's got a nice outside shot. He really looks to play. You'll see it will come up completely windy. But he's got pretty much a sharpshooter. There's a chance for him to find a way on this team. Really take it to the next level. Basically, what you see is kind of did not like that shot. No consistency with it. This is a way you can. But Nick Crass Biloxi, Mississippi class of 2022. He's a good player. Says he was blown away by his by Ole Miss.
Come on, get in.
Any player on the coast. Now I'm a little bit older. Any player on the coast. Thanks to Chris Jackson. I just assumed LSU. I mean, it's
Work it.
that particular area. Almost blew him away. They said good basketball played there at St. Patrick High School in Mississippi competition. But one thing about competition is shots are shots. You can make shots, you can make shots. It's really important. He's a shot. He really is. And it's kind of fun to watch him play. So, McCranie committed to Ole Miss. Now, this weekend, or this week, we have, let's see, I think Tuesday night against Alcorn State. Hopefully after the game, we'll have a midweek instant reaction with Jake. Thursday, we are trying to set up a instant reaction after the game with TJ Oxley. I haven't talked to him yet, so kind of going off on a limb trying to do that. So he does an Instagram or Twitter live type situation after the game. We're going to try and get him on this platform as well. If they win, we'll do it the next night as well. So we're going to start off with these instant reaction videos. Now, Thursday night, Ole Miss versus South Carolina, 8 o'clock. Ole Miss gets the late slot first couple of nights, which, you know, I kind of like. That's just me personally. But South Carolina is the must-win of all must-wins. If you win, you have a chance to play for basically a secure tournament berth. You are right now, let's look at this real quick. I'm sorry about this. Let's see. Net rankings. Let's see where Ole Miss came in today. They were at 52 the other day, which is their best of the season. They come in at 53 right now. Memphis, it looks like, jumped them. So it's a situation where if Ole Miss would not have slipped up against Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, which, I mean, that's what it is, a slip up. It happens. That's 9 of 9, and they're probably safely in the tournament. As it sits now, you probably need to win 2 to get in. Probably. Now, I say that in full knowledge that nobody really knows what the criteria is this weekend or this year. And nobody, I mean, everybody is doing bracketology and we're all looking at it, and I understand that. But nobody knows the criteria, even them. They're doing it the way they've always done it. The way they always figured out to do it. But this is a unique year. You have to understand that. And you can see that all around the country. The NCAA tournament is completely happening around Indianapolis. I mean, it's a big deal happening like this, and you can expect it to be very socially distanced in there, and everything's going to look different. The floors are going to look the same. The basketball's going to look the same. And they're probably going to shoot it a little tighter this year so they don't have all the empty seats. So it's probably going to look like a good product, but the point is the people that normally know exactly what's going on and have an insane hit record this year does not. They do not. They just don't. Because the NCAA did not have an NCAA tournament last year. This tournament is responsible for all of their money. So it could be up to them to maximize revenue this year. So just understand, we think we're on the bubble. We think we're in the next 4 out, or first 4 out. We could already be safely in. if this is about money, I mean, more Power 5 teams are going to be drawn. I don't know how many at-large Group of 5 or below teams there will be. But, I mean, that's just the reality. You would think after what happened last year, the NCAA would try to maximize their money, period. And doing so, you don't really know your criteria this year. You can guess, but everybody's guessing off of what happened 2 years ago and hoping to direct that through. It doesn't necessarily work. Not at all. So, Ole Miss versus South Carolina, 8 o'clock, Thursday night. We're going to try to get with TJ Oxley to do a post-game reaction show. We already have the baseball one set up with Jake Evans. That should be, I think, Tuesday night after the game. And we're going to add stuff as it goes on. We're going to grow this organically. We're not going to rush and do 100 things at once and everything. We're going to grow it organically. I know we want to do a recruiting show. We want to do the instant reactions, so those get added fairly quickly. We're going to wait and figure out how we're going to want to do our interviews and how we want that to look. And this has an opportunity to grow something fierce. So thank you to the Rebel Walk for partnering up with us, and I will do what I can to make you look as good as you can. And remember, anybody that is wanting to use me for their podcasting or video podcasting services, I do not need to be on camera. I'm not an ego person when it comes to that. So do what you want to do. I'm going to stay out of content. I'm going to stay out of basically everything and let you do you. I'm just going to push buttons behind the scenes. That's the goal. All right, I figure we can give you a couple of minutes back. Thank you for tuning in to the POMcast, and I will see you